Due to a regional power outage yesterday, we were not able to record the sermon and put it on Facebook. And so I want to give a devotional day. I know it's after Father's Day, but I want to give a Father's Day devotional, and specifically from some selected Proverbs. And there is many Proverbs that Solomon wrote and others wrote that deal specifically with a father and a son, and you could say a daughter relationship, and it's reciprocal as well. And one of them is found in Proverbs chapter 23. I was just going to read one verse, but there's so much in Proverbs 23 that I'm going to read several verses from Proverbs 23. And we're going to start here in verse 16, and it says this, Proverbs 23 verse 13, Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you strike him with a rod, he will not die. If you strike him with the rod, you will save his son from Sheol, that is, from the grave. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart too will be glad. My inmost being will exult when your lips speak what is right. And then he goes on to say here in verse 22, he says, Listen to your father who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy truth and sell it. Buy wisdom, instruction, and understanding. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice. He who fathers a wise son will be glad in him. Let your father and mother be glad. Let her who bore you rejoice. And so we see here, first of all, that there may be some hesitancy from a father to discipline his child. Because part of disciplining your child is raising them in a righteous way. But we see here that when the father does discipline them when they need it, when the children need it, then they will live, or more likely to live, a righteous life. And what will be a result is the joy of the parents and the joy of the child as well. And so this again is reciprocal. Parents, remember that especially when your children are young, they need discipline. And as you are consistent in that, then you will receive joy, and they will be joyful as well. There is a very famous proverb, Proverbs 22, verse 6, Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he shall not depart from it. Now, that's a general truth. But I've also seen that as well with godly parents who raise children on a godly path, and the child diverted away off of that path. But later down the road, they remembered that training. They remembered that godly advice, and they came back to the path in which they were trained on when they were younger. And so it starts very young to give them that guidance and advice so that hopefully they'll stay on that path. But even again, if they depart, they have that foundation that you gave them when they were young, when they were children. In Proverbs 17 verse 6 says this, Grandchildren are the crown of the aged, and the glory of the children is their fathers. Wow, we see here there is this generational influence. And that's why it's important that grandparents are having an influence on their grandchildren. And not only that, in the fact that the grandparents on their own children can then be passed on to the next generation, then hopefully to the next generation and the next generation as well. And when you have that generational influence, that will give mutual admiration. The grandchildren will give joy or rejoice in their grandparents and in their parents, and then it can be passed on to the children's children as well. Proverbs 20 verse 7 says this, The righteous who walks in his integrity, blessed are his children after him. So this is an interesting proverb that points out that it's also important that the fathers, not only discipline their children, but that they have a disciplined life, that they live a righteous life. And that is a huge influence on their children, and they will be blessed when they do so. And also, Proverbs 3:11 through 12 will end with this. It says, "My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline." We know that was also written in Hebrews chapter 12 as well. "Or be weary of his reproof. For the Lord reproves whom he loves, as a father the son in whom he delights." Now, obviously, there's an application for fathers, to discipline out of love. But we see here as well that we all have a father. We all have a Father up in heaven. And when we receive his discipline, we know that he does it out of love. Now we know fathers should do that as well. We discipline out of love, not out of anger or out of whatever it might be. You're just having a bad day, but we discipline out of love because we want what is best for our children. And as well, when the Lord disciplines you, know that he loves you, and that he wants you to have the fruit of righteousness in your life. Well, I pray that all fathers had a blessed Father's Day yesterday, and I pray that you will receive the joy from being a godly influence on your children and grandchildren. Well, thank you for joining me.